Alright, you lazy fucks, gather round. I got a story for your pathetic asses.
Oh great, the old man's gonna bore us with more of his bullshit.
Probably about how he used to be a bigger asshole than he is now.
You know who else used to be a bigger asshole? My mom laughs hysterically.
Chuckles darkly, this should be good.
Listen up, you worthless shits. My parents were conjoined, like literally fused at the dick. They were a two-headed, four-legged on a shoal abomination.
Holy shit, that's fucked up.
So they were licked. Siamese twins, but even more disgusting.
Exactly. And they died giving birth to me. Crushed me on the way out almost. Fucking bastards.
So you were born an orphan and a freak with some milk-stained leg.
Snort sounds about right.
Yeah, well, I survived, didn't I, you cunts? Spent my cohood in a series of shithole orphanages, dodging one-eat danks and eating garbage.
Sounds like a typical Tuesday for you, Vincent.
Probably explains why you're such a miserable prick.
Shut your coke-sucking mouths. Anyway, I met Skips when I was a teenager. He was working at some greasy burger joint, flipping patties and looking like a bored grill.
Skips, that old tool lot.
Giggles, he just kind of looked like a gorilla.
He saw something in me, I guess. Probably recognized a fellow traveler in the land of the damned. He helped me get a job here at the park. Started as a janitor, cleaning up after you assholes.
And now you're the boss. How the fuck did that happen?
Probably sucked someone's dick to get the promotion.
Watch your fucking mouth, Rigby! I worked my ass off. Dealt with every kind of bullshit you can imagine. Drunk hobos sent in arcade games. Interdimensional beings.
Don't forget the time you fought that giant baby made of cum.
Bust out laughing, oh god, I forgot about that.
Ignoring them, I proved myself, you worthless sacks of shit. Showed them I could handle anything. And eventually, they made me the park manager.
So your entire life story is just a series of increasingly fucked up events that led to you being a bossy uptight prick.
Alright, Rigby, you scrawny piece of shit. Spill the fucking beans about your past. Don't hold back the gut and dirt.
Oh, you want to hear about the glorious origin story of the world's biggest failure? Get ready for some Greta depressing bullshit.
Laid on us. You little fucker. We've heard worse. Probably.
I'm morbidly curious to hear about the fuck-ups that purged this dumpster fire of a man, Co.
Just get on with it, you waste of space. I've got peril checks to bounce and dreams to crush.
So there's Don, right? My Solera brother, the golden boy, the jock, the one our old man actually gave a shit about.
Bet that motherfucker was ripped as hell. Probably pounded bitches for breakfast.
Oh, he was a genetic lottery winner, that cocksucker. Stronger than me by the time he was 10. Who lift a gunner car, probably.
Sounds like a real Twolgot. Always the favorite, huh? Those bastards are the worst.
Did you try to mercy heal him in his sleep? I would have.
I'm surprised your father didn't trade you for a sack of expired hot dogs. Probably would have been a better bargain.
Oh, that miserable son of a bitch. All he ever did was shout and tell me I was a worthless piece of shit.
Sounds like a real stand-up guy. Did he teach you how to hate Nordies? That's a valuable life lesson.
He taught me how to hate everything, especially myself, thanks to comparing me to Don every damn second. Why can't you be more like Don, you lazy prick?
Classic dad move. My old man just ignored me, which honestly was probably for the best. Was disappointed to go around.
My parents just shoved me in a closet and forgot about me, probably for the best, honestly.
At least your father acknowledged your existence, even if it was just to tell you you were a failure. Mine just sent money every once in a while.
Don was the strong one, the successful one. All the girls, all the praise. Meanwhile, I was just me. Scrawny, awkward little turd.
You still are, you cocksuck, but we tolerate you, Bill.
Don would always try and help me, the naive bastard. Tell me on, Rigby, you can do it, like how I could.
He sounds like a real bleeding heart. Probably cried when he saw a homeless person. What a pussy.
Did he offer to give you a piggyback ride? That's the ultimate insult.
I bet he had a perfect attendance record. Fucking goody twas shows.
My dad would just watch I lift something heavy and then look at me like I was a pile of dog shit. Said, Rigby, that's what a real man looks like.
Sounds like he's got some unresolved issues with his own dick, probably tiny as hell. Alright, you fucking bored-brained bastards. Mordecai's gonna spill his goddamn guts about his pathetic past. Don't hold back, you cum-stay.
Yeah, tell us how you failed at the one thing you're supposed to be good at, you whole piece of shit.
Fuck you, Rigby. Fine. You wanna know? I was a goddamn disaster at flight school. Couldn't get my wings. Kept crashing like a drunk troll gut.
Oh, I remember hearing about that. You were a real failure, weren't you?
Pure comedy. Watching a bird who can't fly. What a pathetic existence.
You must have been the laughingstock of the entire school, useless cunt.
Pretty much. Everyone else was soaring and I was face planting into cow shit. Real glamorous.
Sounds about right for you, you flap dick.
So how'd you end up being so goddamn tall if you were supposed to be a little bird? You just keep growing out of sheer spite.
I don't know, maybe I just got it with some radioactive bullshit. Or maybe I'm just a genetic fuck-up.
A little bit of both, probably.
You're like a walking flagpole. A big blue eyesore.
Did your height make failing flight school even funnier? Like a giant asshole trying to fly?
It certainly didn't help, you bitch. Felt like a giant, clumsy bastard trying to do a ballet.
So how'd you meet Margaret? You know, struck quick.
Was it some sappy romantic bullshit?
Nah, nothing like that. You cynical cunts. I saw her at some shitty open mic night, singing some equally shitty songs.
Hey, they weren't that shitty.
Yeah, they were, you know it. But you were. Less shitty than the rest of the garbage there.
So you bonded over mutual shitness. How romantic.
A match made in the dumpster. Truly beautiful.
Basically, then we started hanging out, and she somehow tolerated my giant, failed fleet school us.
She must be a real atone for punishment.
We're just as fucked up as you are.
Hey, I resemble that remark. You rodent bastard.
Alright, you pathetic sacks of shit gather round. Time for me to drop some fucking knowledge bombs about how this magnificent specimen of a man came to be.
Oh, this is gonna be some red up bullshit. I can already feel it.
Yeah, get ready for a load of steaming hot cock and bull stories.
Giggle cynically, I hope it's fucked up as you are, muscle man.
Just spit it out. You goddamn meathead. My patience is thinner than Yillian's wallet after a trip to the candy store.
My mom, bless her twisted ancient heart, was a real piece of work. Woke us a sail and smelled like a damn dumpster fire. But man, she was tough as nails. Used to tell me I was a little bastard. She wasn't wrong.
So your mom called you a bastard. Figures.
Probably because your dad was some random come staying.
Snorts with laughter, Mordecai.
Nah, my dad was a legend. A total fucking asshole, but a legend nonetheless. Died doing what he loved.
Which was what huffing gasoline and wrestling raccoons.
Clothes got flattened by a goddamn ice cream truck. Said it was the only way to go out, with the cherry on top. Old Toolot.
Howls with laughter flattened by an ice cream truck. That's some red suicide material.
What a pathetic way to go. His life was probably as meaningless as yours.
Did he at least get some free ice cream before he went?
Nah, the driver was a cheap cunt. But hey, at least he didn't die a virgin like Mordecai here.
That's a low blow, you inbred fuck.
Alright, enough about your dead dad's pathetic end. What about the rivalry with Ghost? You big cum dumpster.
If ghost, that translucent piece of shit goes back to kindergarten.
Kindergarten. You guys were rivaling over finger painting real estate.
Worse, we were competing for the title of biggest little shit.
And you obviously won.
Did you guys have little shit-off contests?
Every damn day, who could pull the most offensive pranks, who could make the most yarns cry, who could say the most racist shit without getting expelled.
Sounds like a delightful cohood. Just a bunch of little degenerate fucks in training.
Alright, so Pop's box store. Huh, this is gonna be some fucked up shit.
Yeah, tell us how you wound up in this dump, Pops. From that lolly fucking land.
Was it filled with those candy-esque goo-lers, Pops?
Yes, Lowlyland, a land of vibrant hues and insufferable sweetness. Truth be told, I couldn't stand those saccharine bastards. They just stand there, smiling and offering me lollipops. Made me want to shove them up.
Sounds like a proper shithole, so you just bounce, said fuck it is, and hit the road.
Precisely, my boy. I packed a small satchel of personal belongings. Mostly just a few spare waistcoats and a particularly potent brand of cough syrup that tasted like old socks and regret.
Regret is the only thing worth tasting, ain't it? So, you sailed on a shipment of dick cheese or what?
The journey, it was arduous. I stowed away on a merchant vessel. The captain was a right cunt. Smelled of rotting fish and disappointment.
Figures. Probably a real tool that. 2.
Did you have to blow him for passage, Pops? Don't be shy.
I'd rather chew shards of glass than submit to that indignity. No, I hid amongst crates of salted cod. The stench was overpowering, like 1,000 decaying vaginas.
Nice. A real scenic route, then. So you finally wash up on America's shores, right? Land of the free and the home of the... well, whatever the fuck this place is.
I landed in a bustling port city, full of loud, obnoxious people, smell of exhaust fumes and desperation. Right up my alley, to be honest.
Desperation smells like my gym socks after a bicep day. So how'd this Mallard bastard find you?
I was busking for pennies, playing my ukulele and singing body sea shanties. Apparently, my rendition of the Ballad of the Cum-Stained Sailor caught his attention.
That's some quality entertainment right there. But it was a real crowd pleaser.
Did you get any tips in other ways, Pops? From lonely sailors?
Now, Rigby, a gentleman never discusses the specifics of his artistic endeavors. Let's just say it made enough to buy a decent meal and a bottle of that delightful cough syrup.
So Mallard sees this singing Nujob and says, that's the kind of fucked up energy I need in my life.
Something to that effect. He offered me a home and a job, said I had a certain genie says you ahoy. I believe that translates to a magnificent lack of social grace and a willingness to be exploited.
Sounds about right for that old brick. So, Skips, where's that hairy bastard fit into this fucked up jigsaw puzzle?
Skips? Yes, I met him shortly after moving in. He was working here already. A quiet, solitary creature, didn't say much, still doesn't.
Probably jerks off to pictures of snowmen?
Or maybe he's into some real freaky shit, like collecting toenails and shit.
He had a certain stoicism, a quiet intensity. I found it comforting in a world full of nosy, attention-seeking bastards. His silence was a balm.
Alright, Skips, you old bastard laid on us. How'd you get this whole eternal of bullshit? Did you suck a magical cock or something?
Yeah, spill the cum, Gran. Did you fuck a time machine?
For the love of Christ, just tell the damn story, Skips. I don't have all day to listen to you old fuckers ramble.
Oh, jolly good a tale of yore. I do hope there's a delightful cum stain involved.
Fine, you insufferable shits. It all started back when I wasn't this eternally youthful piece of ass. I was just a regular dude, banging bitches and taking names.
So, you were a tool goat just like the rest of us before you got your little cum bath of you.
Something like that, you little prick anyway. I was on this spiritual quest, trying to find the meaning of life, which is a load of bullshit, by the way.
Of course it is. The only meaning of life is jerking off and getting drunk.
Preach, brother, and maybe a little bit of hate speech thrown in for good measure.
So, I'm wandering around when I stumble upon these four ancient cunts calling themselves the guardians of eternal youth.
Let me guess, they were all ugly as sin and smelled like old balls.
Worse, Benson. Much, much worse. But they had this magical cum chalice that granted immortality.
Oh, a cum chalice, how utterly delightful. Did you chug it like a beer bomb?
Pretty much, Pops. And ever since, I've been stuck in this hole of eternal youth, watching you assholes make the same mistakes over and over again.
So, you're friends with historical figures too. Like, did you and Hitler hang out and talk about the good old days of genocide?
Let's just say I've seen some shit, Thomas. I partied with Cleopatra, smoked weed with Shakespeare, and even had a threesome with Abraham Lincoln and his beard.
Now that's what I call historical cum stain.
Did you and Mona have a special handshake that involved jacking off into each other's mouths?
Mona, she was a real piece of ass. We were deeply in love, but she was immortal, and I was, well, you know.
So, you dumped her because she was going to get old and brittle. What a heartless bastard.
It was for the best, Benson. Watching someone you love with her always a special kind of hell.
Oh, the tragedy. A cum-soaked love story.
Did you at least get some good head before she crowed Ed?
Let's just say our last night together was memorable.
I bet it was. Historical coming, if you will.
Alright, you spectral son of a bitch. Spill the ghost count. Why the fuck are you so translucent?
Oh, you want the fucked up truth, do you? Ready for some real gun blankets?
Lay it on us, you spooky cocksucker. Make it hurt.
Yeah, don't hold back, you ethereal asshole. We thrive on that shit.
Oh, a story about a ghost cow. Delightfully unsettling. Please, do tell, you phantom fucker.
I'm cautiously intrigued, you spectral bastard. Don't spare the offensive details.
Fine, buckle the fuck up, engineer cunts. If they'll start to win by this, Muscle Man is my goddamn rival.
Rival, you little shit stain. I was the king of this shithole.
You were a little that insecure bastard. We were competing over it, or we could drink the most boycotted song.
Uso, that's some real low stack as Higgashit in this rivalry. I love it.
Peak degeneracy, competing over sugary blue come water. Hilarious. Yeah, well, it was our whole garden rule. You just little pricks. Anyway, we were in this abandoned warehouse, chugging that blue garbage like our pathetic lives depended on it.
Oh dear, a beverage-based competition leading to potential tragedy. How delightfully fucked up.
A warehouse setting. How glitchy and wonderfully depressing.
And then, boom, the whole goddamn place went up in flames. Turns out some crackhead left a lit cigarette near flammable bullshit.
A crackhead? Of course it was a goddamn crackhead. Fuck those guys.
Crackheads are the ultimate agents of chaos. A true inspiration in their shittiness.
Setting a building on fire over a discarded butt, that's some next level worthless behavior. And my entire goddamn family was in there visiting my mom, my dad, my sister, and my goddamn dog. Hold on, move, turn into spectral garbage like me.
The sudden, fiery demise of an entire family unit. Absolutely breathtaking in its fucked up nature.
The inclusion of the dog adds that extra layer of tragic absurdity, beautifully bleak.
So you're all ghosts because some crackhead was careless with his goddamn cancer stick. That's some fucked up cosmic irony.
The universe truly is a cruel, indifferent bitch, and we're all just its pathetic playthings. And that's why we're ghosts. You understand? Because of blue goddamn soda and careless junk.
But the blue soda, why the fuck did you still like that shit after you killed your whole goddamn family?
Alright, Thomas, you scrawny little bitch. Spill the cum stain beans. Why the fuck were you really here?
Yeah, give us that intern bullshit anymore. You commie cockrat.
I knew it! Smelled the borscht and the cheap vodka on you from day one, you Slavic asshole!
Oh, my dearies, a spy? How utterly wicked. Tell us everything, you sneaky bastard.
Seen it all before. Another dickless wonder pretending to be something they're not.
Alright, fine. You insufferable pieces of shit. You want the truth. The truth is, I was a fucking spy.
Ah, knew it. What kind of spy? Were you planning listening to Vice's in Benson's shitty gumball machine?
Were you stealing our high scores on Fists of Justice for the Motherland, you communist toga?
So that's why the park budget was always fucked. You were siphoning it off for some Godforza and Soviet potato famine. Weren't you, you cunt?
Oh, the intrigue! Were you delivering secret messages in your little intern backpack? You adorable little rogue!
Probably just sniffing out off toilet seats and calling it intel.
No! You disgusting animals! It was serious! I was training for years. Infiltrate, observe, report. Standard spy shit.
So you were basically a paid creep. Sounds about right for a commie.
Did they make you read propaganda posters and send the International for breakfast? You brainwashed fuck.
And the intern gig was just a cover. So all those times you tripped over the sprinkler were fake. You were faking being a clumsy dick.
Was your mission to steal a recipe for Benson's terrible coffee, you culinary saboteur?
But your training involved licking frozen flat bowls.
The intern thing was perfect cover. Nobody expects a Russian spy to be cleaning toilets and getting yelled at by a gumball machine.
Yeah, that's some great deception. You sneaky bastard disguised as pure, unadulterated failure.
So when we were getting chased by sentient hot dogs, you were probably just taking notes for your handlers, weren't you? You unfeeling prick.
All those pointless errands I sent you on. Were you using them to collect data on the park's defenses? You traitorous cum stain.
And the time you got stuck in the vending machine, was that a strategic maneuver to access the snack distribution network, you cunning little biscuit?
Or maybe you were just genuinely that incompetent, even for a spy.
Honestly, most of the time it was just about not getting caught. Blending in, being boring. The most communist thing of all.
See, we knew it. Boring, sneaky cummy bullshit, just like we always suspected, you tool got.
Alright, line up, you miserable sacks of shit. Please hit us with your goddamn sob story. Why the fuck don't we ever see your asshole parents?
You know, typical bullshit. Mom's a raging cunt, dad's a cum-guzzling bastard. They basically disowned me for not being a goddamn rocket scientist or some shit.
Ah, figures. My parents are dicks. Probably why I'm such a lovable piece of garbage.
Yeah, welcome to the club. I mean, most parents are just a genetic experiment gone wrong.
Mine are pretty much just glorified Roomba robots, just sucking up money and giving nothing back to fuckers.
Tell me about it. My mom's a bitch who thinks she's queen of the world. Honestly, she'd probably sell her own urinary for a discount at some bullshit boutique.
So, Lynn, spill the beans. How'd Rigby, this greasy little cum stain somehow managed to raise you up? That's the real mystery here.
Honestly, it was pure, unadulterated, drunken desperation, and maybe a little bit of pity. He just kept rambling about some bullshit squirrels, and I just... Bro!
Hey, don't act like you weren't into it. You were practically drooling over my sheer Rigby-ness.
His Rigby-ness! That's a new level of delusion even for him. His Rigby-ness is basically a cocktail of failure and cheap hot dogs.
Yeah, I think I'd rather date a literal pile of dog shit than deal with Rigby's riz.
Same. At least the dog shit doesn't try to tell you about his sick video game skills every 5 seconds.
Alright. Enough of the Rigby low. Lynn, enlightening us on the closet situation. Why the fuck were you locked up like some kind of inbred goblin?
That was just my parents' brilliant idea of discipline. Apparently existing too loudly was a capital offense in their fucked up little world.
Lock her in a closet. What the hell? Were they trying to turn you into a damn old person?
Probably training her for a career in competitive hiding, or maybe just couldn't stand the sight of her. Say I blame them sometimes, no offense.
None taken. I can barely stand the sight of myself sometimes. Usual dots.
So they just threw you in the dark. No food, no water, just a closet full of their repressed sexual frustrations, I assume.
Knowing parents, probably a closet full of old photo albums filled with their disappointing expectations for you.
That's some Reddit parenting right there. Sounds like my dad used to lock me in the shed with nothing but a rusty shovel and his broken dreams. Good times.
It was a real character building experience. Taught me how to effectively communicate with dust bunnies and spiders.
See, it wasn't all bad. You gained valuable communication skills.
Skills that are only useful if you plan on becoming a professional spider whisperer.
Or a closet inspector. Yep, this is a closet full of despair and questionable odors. 5 stars.
Honestly, my parents would probably just throw me in a closet for wearing the wrong color socks. The sheer tyranny of it all.
Alright, Margaret, you washed coffee slinging cum stain, spill the fucking beans. How'd your sorry ass end up here, and why the hell are you spewing bullshit on TV now?
Oh, you want to know my pathetic fucking sob story, do you? Vincent, fine. Get ready for a tale of pure, unadulterated curry.
Yeah, lay it on us, you big tit-having bitch. Don't hold back in the juicy parts.
I bet some more got shit about wanting to help Hillbleed or some tool-go bullshit like that.
Or maybe she just wanted to show off her sock tits on camera. You know who else is sock tits? My mom!
Chuckles darkly, I'm ready for this train wreck.
Okay, listen up, you pack of degenerate assholes. I met Mordecai when he was a regular at the coffee shop, constantly staring at me like a pathetic, horny dog. It was fucking creepy, honestly.
Hey, I was appreciating the view, you stuck-up cunt.
Whatever, you dick. Anyway, the coffee shop was a little filled with annoying customers and my soul was slowly dying with every shitty latte I made. I realized I needed to escape that brown-stained prison.
So you decided to spread your bullshit lies on the news instead. Fucking brilliant.
It was a step up from serving overpriced coffee to entitled pricks. At least now, get light to a wider audience.
And probably get paid more for it, you greedy whore.
You know who else likes slang for money? My mom!
Giggles, I love how everyone's a terrible person in this story.
So quit that sitso of a coffee shop and some landed a gig at the news station known. Ask me how it was probably some affirmative action bullshit.
You're probably just good at faking enthusiasm and looking shocked at tragedies.
You got that fucking shucking face down, Pat. You phony bitch.
Hey, it's a skill, and it pays the bills unlike making minimum wage and smelling like burnt coffee all day.
You think you're so high and mighty now, don't you? Still a piece of trash in my book.
And you're still a bald raging midget, Benson. Some things never change.
You know who else is a bald raging midget? My mom!
Laughs maniacally, this is the best urgent story ever.
Anyway, that's it, my boring ass story. Met Mordecai, hated my job, became a lying news reporter, the end.
Honestly, I thought there'd be more sex and drugs in there.
Yeah, where's the cum and cocaine, Margaret? Don't tell me you're a prude, you boring whore.